Welcome. So this looks a little bit different. These are pretty much like the same videos. Um, so allow me to, I guess, introduce myself. My name is Zay Rivale, and I am an artist. I'm an artist. I am a engineer, covering from recording all the way up to the process of mixing and mastering and all that. Also a producer, but I'm still learning in my bag, trying to find that. And yeah, so welcome to the channel. Welcome to Seeing Sounds, sponsored by Miscellaneous Muzik. And I'm really excited. I'm really excited to start these back up. I know originally I was just doing these and showing what I was doing, and sort of kind of without context. Sometimes the videos would go and then shut off at a certain point, and I would just like release the videos. But now I get to do this for Miscellaneous Muzik. And what is Miscellaneous Muzik, you ask? I've been with them since, I want to say, since I first came out as an artist. About, well, had to be 2016, 2017. And basically it's we are now a music distributor, and I am on staff as in charge of all audio operations and things like that. And I'm not really doing a very, smooth job at this introduction, but pretty much, Jarrell, the owner, we talked about a lot of things in this label and Miscellaneous Muzik, and we came across like, how could we promote ourselves more? How could we get more people maybe interested? And I told him about that I do this like YouTube thing, and he was just like, well, how about you keep doing that, and just showing people like in depth of like what you do, the artist that the label works for and I work for, and just things like that. So I'm sorry about that. So yeah, pretty much, this is what this channel is now. It's, again, I had some old videos, but they're all taken down. But I'm really excited just to now show you, like, or y'all, whoever's watching, what I work on. And some days it might be a beat, some days I might show you what I did with an artist, but like the whole thing is to really show you that Miscellaneous Muzik has engineers here ready for you. Miscellaneous Muzik is ready for you to, submit your music. If you find what I'm doing cool throughout like these episodes and things like that, or you think what I'm doing is cool, like, hit me up, hit us up. We've all been in the music business at least 10 plus years here at Miscellaneous Muzik. So yeah, so without further ado, I really, to be honest, have no kind of plan. I just sort of kind of wanted to do this very raw cut. I didn't want to sit here and try to edit things out and whatever. Like, I really wanted it to be very much of a very raw kind of presentation. Like, so whatever I'm showing on the screen is what I'm doing in like actual real time. And I thought about it a lot today when I was at work, and I was just like, like, what should I start with? And I think we're just gonna start simple. We're gonna start on a beat, um, and basically what today is gonna be. I'm just gonna pick a random beat that I've made, and I'm just gonna mix it. I'm gonna balance it out. I'm gonna smooth it out to my liking and my taste. Um, at any point, if I play a beat or anything like that, like, and you like it, um, the goal is I'm gonna try to finish it, so you can see the way I mix things in my process, and then I want to show how I mastered it in my process, and then I want to just like release it on this page. And if you want to buy it, cool. If not, cool. But this is just more for the content side, and maybe a video mixing and it turns to a tutorial. I don't know, but the point is, I'm super excited as the engineer, operative, and just to show you what I do. So we are here in my house. This is my home studio, and it's not fancy, but it gets the job done, and that's what I look for out of a studio. So enough talking. Let's get into it. I hope y'all are doing well. Whoever's watching, I hope you had a great day. Also, before we get started, as of today, Miscellaneous Muzik is looking for 5 to 8 artists, and we are releasing our new distribution program. And what this is we want to find 8 to 5 artists, and we just want to basically grow with them. And it's for free. I know, crazy. You're thinking like, what is this? Like, is this real? Is this free? Yes. So what we do is you contact us. There is a pay-in fee. It's not very high. It just covers the fee if you do choose us and our engineers. It's very, very, very low rate. But after that, for the plan is for 2 years. We work with you for 2 years. You keep your rights. You keep your creativity rights. We don't sit here and try to tell you what to do. You're still treated as an independent artist. I know, crazy. But what we do for you is, once you're ready to release that music, you bring it to us, and we'll release it through Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, all those. So we take care of the releasing side of it for you. So instead of you just going to DistroKid or whatever and paying them monthly, we already have that covered for you. You just come to us, get you sorted. Yeah, we'll get you all sorted out, and then boom. And that's really how it works. And obviously, like, we'll walk you through like some expectations and what we sort of kind of require. But other than that, yeah, it's free. But we're looking for 5 to 8 artists, and we want to work with these artists for about 2 years. So that's really to showcase, see like numbers grow, learn, like, and yeah, just things like that. So it's a really cool program. I don't know how long this free will be going for, much longer, but I would seize the opportunity. And we're sort of kind of looking for new artists that are like new to the game, and just things like that. And that's how I started. And I think that's really cool that they're taking that initiative, because that's how they signed me when I was releasing music at like 17, 18 years old. Like, I didn't have to worry about a payment plan. I just sent it to Jarrell. He's the CEO. I just sent it to him, and he took care of the rest. And it's really cool to see that how I was treated is now going to be translated to others. And I think it's going to be a really cool time. And you get to work with me if you sign up. I don't know if you think I'm cool or not, but that's also a plus. But yeah, so I just wanted to share that real quick with you. But other than that, let's just get into it. I don't know. So we have beats. We might go over all this, but maybe I might do a a video on keeping everything organized. You never know, but yeah, look at all this. Look at all this. I know, man, that'd be yesterday. So basically, the ones in the yellow are what we need to tackle. So, you know what? Let's try out Snowday. Let's get rid of the orange so it won't confuse me. C loops only. So yeah, this is how I keep everything organized. So I'm looking at everything and I'm like, okay. So we're gonna change that to yellow. I know what the blue means. It was originally meaning that artists have them, but the artists ain't using them. I know that for a fact. We'll probably double check on that. Huh. We'll double check that later. I'm gonna put that on there. Okay. Let's see. And I saw Snowday. So this means that we're working on it currently. So that's why I did that. Let's see. Yeah. Also, I work in waveform. It's been about almost 2 years since I've made that fully committed switch. But I've learned to like it. I learned to grow in it. And I have a workflow in it. And that's another video for later. But if I have a workflow in it and I know how to get from point A to point B, then I'm leaving it alone. So, but really cool DAW. They have the free trial. You can download Waveform. I think it's free. Whoops. You can download Waveform free and just stuff like that. I will hide my face eventually. But for the time being, so again, all we're doing today is just mixing a beat. Each episode, it might be another beat again. I might show you what I did with the artist and remix the song and, be like, oh, I sort of kind of did this wrong, or this is what I would like to change in that mix. But who knows? But since, I got yikes. Since I wasn't told of a certain kind of rubric to follow, I'm gonna just do me. So, let's see. Nah, I'll be alright. So yeah, again, Miscellaneous Muzik, we're looking for 5 to 8 artists. So yeah, and again, the goal is mix this song. If it's already mixed, I'm just gonna remix it, just so I can show, like, maybe I might learn something new in it. I don't know, but yeah. And then here and there, I might pause it. I might go completely silent. I might talk through the whole video. Like, I don't know. I don't know what this is gonna be or turn into. So, y'all bear with me. This episode 1 of Seeing Sound. So, once this all loads up, I'm probably gonna hide my face. I may go silent. I don't know. I think I might do that. Snowday. I wonder if that was when it probably snowed here in Georgia. Come on, waveform. Believe in you. Ugh. I still think Pro Tools has one of the most dreadful load ups ever. Sometimes. I feel like all DAWs load ups are about on par. There's sometimes this thing sits on like 43%. This probably has to be from a really old template that I have. I think it has to be. And that's another video that I want to do sometime later. It's being like, some people view their template as like the staple and it doesn't move, it doesn't get upgraded, and there's some people that their template is just changes every day. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with either. Alright, let's see what we have. If this is trash, I'm so sorry, y'all. But I'm gonna hide my face now. Alright, so see what we got. not bad. Not bad at all. It's okay. Not anything crazy. Alright, so I sort of kind of like where I'm at. As you can see, like, when I create, it's just very much like nothing's labeled. I mean, like, obviously I can sit here and tell you, like, what everything is. Oh my goodness gracious. But yeah, this is gonna be real fun. It's gonna be very, very fun. Okay, I have some old stuff. Let me look. Let's see. Tracks. Ooh, actually, let me delete. So I had an album that I just got done with the artist, and he did the exact same song. He rapped to the exact same song. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so this is a very old template, but still, it's something that I can recognize with. So, before I do any of that, I'm gonna take a quick break, and then we're just gonna walk this through, and then I might go silent, I might not. So, but alright. Alrighty. So we're back. So basically all I did, I just cleaned up the session. I got rid of my vocal chain processing. And I think what I am gonna do, I think I am gonna go silent. And then if I need to say something, I do have like another mic I can speak into. Or maybe just cut on my mic that I have now. But I think I'm gonna go silent when I start getting into it. But really, to be honest, this is such an old template. Very old. Let's see. So what I'm gonna do is actually so a long time ago, I'm really glad that I'm looking at it now, but let's see. Secret. Call this. So a long time ago, I was really into. I was traveling. That's what it was really for. But I was traveling, and I was pretty much obsessed with. I have this old tape recorder thing that they used to use to track, to cassette or to tape or whatever. And I just like the sound of it, and I like the color of it. And I was like, I just want this thing to travel with me wherever I go. So I literally try to model or take things plugin wise that I thought were similar to the hardware. So if I ever got into a position where I'm like, I want um, that MO9 feel, like that's what I want to use it for. So, and that's what I'm doing right here. So, but I really want to fix this up though before I start working. If I'm really being honest. I think it starts with an R. Got some really cool plugins that do a really good job. But also, I'm a firm believer of however you used to work or whatever used to be your old template stuff. I mean, I would say like don't ever like just throw it away. Like keep it. Like it was the reason why you learned it. You know? Like keep it. Keep it in your back pocket. Like maybe you might go back to it. Who knows? And that's what I'm realizing with like my old templates. I'm like, oh, like, okay. But I think I was doing a little bit too much though. Like I had two separate things for, I mean like I understood what it was, but it's just like I can just add the chain here instead of do whatever. So let's see, I want to delete that, and I want to delete that. Alright, Tekka analog. I don't think I'll need it. Or I might. Who knows? I'll leave it. So do this number right here. Just duplicate it. Purple. I'm so used to my current one that I'm like, I'm confusing myself. Alright, for right now, this doesn't matter. So Command M. And then we'll change those to one too. So I'm just keep confusing myself. I think I'll get rid of that. Yeah. All right.
You checking in with Rivale.
All right, so basically all I'm going to do right now is I'm going to organize this. Just as it is. So I can go ahead and just, that's the beat tag. Let's see, do I already, I do, I can use lines or I can use subparents. And we'll use subparents, because why not? Oh! So I treat all my beats like if somebody sent me the files. I like it all organized, I like it all clean, I like it all that. Stereo, blah. And this is what I do for each beat. Yeah. And this is just the real fact of the matter. I feel like the more I go throughout my audio journey, the more I'm like, yeah, like mixing gets all like the glory and just things like that, but it's honestly like low key, like if not like one of the most boring, like for real things. Like I see why there's people that like do it for them, you know what I mean? Mixing is fun. I enjoy it because I get to sit there and sort of kind of take it apart and put it back together. I don't really like doing that anyways, but I think it's just like the most hype thing. But that's another episode for another day. I don't know. Because like mixing is like, there's no such thing as a bad mix. There's really no such thing as a good mix. There's no such thing as a perfect mix. Actually, there are mixes that are good and they're bad. But like, again, is there such thing as a good and bad mix? I feel like there's mixes that are not to the level or standard of what people are anticipating, but so I don't know. Like mixing is one of the most subjective. I mean, like for real, one of the most subjective things you could do. Like it just, Well, it just is. The tail on that is ridiculous. Ooh, I think I'll keep it stereo. Trying to keep the integrity of what I did. What do I want to call that? Give it that. Sick. Just like to confirm, you know. Well, so also what I'm doing, I have stuff like pans and stuff, but I always get afraid. I'm like, well, what if I don't want like the snares there? You know what I mean? It's been forever since I've worked on this beat. You know. So I might want to change it or something. Well, that doesn't help. Dog's going crazy. He done sniff something he ain't supposed to be sniffing. Hold up. Yeah, y'all seen it all. Y'all seen how boring this can get. Y'all still want to be mix engineer? You still want to do this, man? Ooh, yeah, we thumping. We thumping, baby. Remember, doesn't matter what DAW you use, as long as you get the job done. Alright, who cares? Who really cares? I sure don't. Hope whoever's in that ambulance car is okay, man. I'll explain what I'm doing. So, I like to blend. When it comes to the 808, I don't know why, I'm extremely fascinated. And what I like to do is I like to take an 808 and I like to sort of kind of cut it in half. I like to separate the sub harmonics with sort of kind of like the upper meaning like 100 to like 300 or 1K, whatever. But it's like the sub and the punch, and then I like to just blend those together, and I feel like that's how I like balance my 808s. I'm pretty sure people do it. I'm not gonna try to sit here and be like I'm the first person to ever. I'm like, no, it's just I find it really cool. I find it really fascinating. I tried it once and then it stuck with me, so therefore that's why I do it. And if you find it cool, you should try it too. So now let's just sort of kind of make these all even. Alright, and then I'm going to organize it, and then I'll talk about how I organize. So in future videos, if you watch these, you understand what I'm doing.
You checking in with Rivale.
cool. So that fast. Um, so I went to a recording school, and it was called Tweak Recording, and I owe them the world because that's how I really got heavily invested into the production side of things. That's where I really fell in love with, especially mixing. But I was really interested in more recording, especially myself and vocals. Um, I still love recording. I would probably choose to be a recording engineer all day than a mixing engineer, but to each his own. And I had to just pick up on mixing, and that's why I love it. But whatever. So they taught me how to record basically drums, and it's the order of kick, snare, hats, rides, crash, and then etc. And then etc. meaning like after that it was however you thought was necessary. And I just sort of kind of kept that with me because when I was first learning all this, especially with like a drum kit, I didn't really know what like where everything was on the kit. If I'm making sense, like the crash and the rides, and to be honest, I didn't know what a snare was, but like I knew like what a snare sounded like, but I didn't know it was called a snare. And to me, that was just like fascinating. I was like, yo, what the heck? Um, so basically, I just kept that with me, haven't changed it. So even when I'm making beats, I go kick, snare, hats. In this case, I do loops, 808s, and then anything extra just goes on the bottom. And then after, the instruments, then it's the vocals. But who cares? Like, you can put vocals first and then your hat. Like, it doesn't matter as long as my personal opinion is it doesn't matter how it's organized. Just keep the same organization format so you're quicker and you get to what you need to quicker, or your brain, or where the song's trying to take you. Like, it doesn't really matter how you organize it. Just as long as it makes sense to you, do it. Um so yeah. And then now, since I already know I'm probably gonna be doing A B C D E F G, I'm just gonna go ahead and designate them to their buses. Let's see. I'm still trying to get used to this. Ooh, I used to work like this at one point, yo. Can you believe that? But it comes with trial and error. Like, I didn't know waveform like that. I was still figuring out waveform. I was still figuring out like all this stuff. Let's see. I'm gonna leave texture alone, and I'm just gonna send it to the beat song. And then the beat tag I'm also send to the beat song. Boom. So kick. We have no kick, so we can just skedaddle that. Do have snare. Now we'll go to beat song. We have hats. That will go to the beat song. We have loops. I'll go to the beat song. And we have 808s, which will go to the beat songs. Now this will go to in the box mix. Boom. My current updated one is it flows just like this, not with all that hot garbage around. So alright, cool. So everything is organized. Everything that I want to see is seen. And now we get to the mixing part. So, and that's where, oh, you can probably hear me through only that mic. Who cares? Sorry, episode 1 is just going terribly wrong. But anyways, I don't know if the other mic picked it up, but all I said was, who cares about how you have things organized as long as it makes sense to you? Who cares? And then basically all I said was, my current template looks exactly like this, but without all that extra garbage I had in there that I've taken out over the recent times and whatever. And then now we're ready to mix. And then I was gonna say I'm gonna cut my mic off and probably just go silent. So yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. A lot of talking for episode 1. The goal is just to sort of kind of give a brief display of what I'm doing and get to work, but I haven't done this in a hot minute. So yeah, all right, cool. But this is also really fun and really cool because I get to explain the organization and hopefully help somebody, because organization is key. Again, and if you don't have a template and that's the way you work, then do it. I'm not saying like go create one, but I'm just saying like get a just a workflow down and then build on top of it and keep building and the next thing you know, like, you're knocking mixes out in an hour and you're wondering if it's actually done or not, because it's like, oh, that was really fast and really easy. That's how it's supposed to be sometimes, you know. So yeah, well, all right, I'm gonna take a little quick break, but after that I'm gonna get to work.
checking in with Raleigh. You checking in with Raleigh. You checking in with Raleigh.
Okay, cool. Wow, that's really, really loud. Excuse me. Because I'm actually talking into the mic now. So yeah, basically, all I did was I like to get like this balance only using the the volume fader and panning. And all I do is I like space in a mix unless like yeah, I just like space. I like to hear each individual element precisely, and then depending on the mood or whatever's going on, then that's how I gauge like, okay, I want this to be lighter than this, and I want this tucked in that, and I want this to give off like a whatever. Um, so yeah, so all I did was volume and pan, and I feel like once you organize that first without using any kind of plugins, I'm pretty sure if you're watching this, you've seen it somewhere. Then yeah, I feel like you're more you're just in a better spot. And then I finally remembered is after I get like this rough mix or whatever, static rough, whatever you want to call it. Um, I like to go ahead and print it off. So when I start mixing and I feel like I'm losing it, or I'm like, oh, what did this sound like before? And I listen to it, this is sort of kind of like my gauge that can bring me back to reality. And I'm like, all right, like the 808s ain't hitting like I wanted it, or whatever. So that's all I did. And that's how I start like every mix is I listen to everything a couple times. I let the whole thing just run through. I usually do that about twice. If it's has like a lot more elements to the song, then I listen to about 3 or 4 times, and then so I kind of have like I have an idea of what I'm finna do. So, and that's all I did. And I just wanted to sort of kind of stop and explain what I was doing. Also, um, I brought everything down to -6. I learned that at Tweed. Shout out to Nate Nelson. When we were first, well, when I was first into the mixing course, um, he told me it's always easier to turn something up than it is down. So he showed me how he sets up his, and the one thing I liked about his was he sets everything to about -6, or he has his own whatever, but he turns everything down to -6, and then that's how he gauges there, because then now he can mix at like a comfortable level, and you can raise things, you can boost things since you started at a lower level, and you can work your way up back to being loud instead of just starting at 0. But I mean, like, that's just how I work. Not saying it's like the golden standard and it's absolutely correct. It's just what I've done, and I've been doing it for so long now that it just makes sense to me, and it's part of my workflow. So yeah. So I guess enough with the talking, and I guess I'm gonna really get to it. I keep saying that, but am I ever gonna get to this? You're probably watching this long video and you're like, man, is this guy ever gonna get to this? I will. And since I feel like since it's episode 1, I'm gonna talk a bit, because I know if I keep doing this, if Jero keeps letting me do this, I'm just gonna get to a point where I just hop on here, pause. I'm gonna, do these videos and probably not talk. So, but all right, let's actually get to it. I just wanted to explain myself, so appreciate it. All right, one last thing. So I pulled up this EQ band, and basically I called this my room correction EQ. So what I did, I have, where is it? REW, which is Room EQ Wizard. And I just took measurements of my room acoustically. And then wherever I saw dips at, to make it to where it can be like flat, quotation marks around that. It just evens out so like my ears aren't tricking me. Because if I took it out, I would think I would have less, you know, what? What is this? I would have less at 50 hertz, but in reality, it sounds good, you know what I mean? And I would add or boost a ton of low end, and when I go check my mix, I'm like, why is there so much low end? It's because my room is telling me like, hey, like, you think there's a lack of low end here, so I'm just gonna make an EQ band to make up for it, so that when I listen to it in this room, it sounds good. So I don't need to make like crazy adjustments to it. I just like went back and like rewatched the video, and I was just like, oh wait a minute, like I didn't really explain this, but that's all it's doing. It's just making up for what my room is telling me, so that when I mix, I don't have to be guessing and wondering and fixing things and blah blah blah. So give it a try. Like, get Room EQ Wizard, measure your room. I mean, like, you ain't gotta have like crazy speakers. I don't. I have M Audio BX3s. You know what I mean? Like, what? They're like $80 a pair. But I know these speakers, and I wouldn't go anywhere without these speakers because I know them so well. So give it a try, for real, and see how it goes for you. But again, just trial and error. Just want to explain that real quick. Guess I'll explain this. I don't know if I'll use it, but this is how I check. Like, I'm trying to create like a band, like an EQ band for my car, so that I can just listen to it in here and be like, okay, like that's what it's telling me. But this is just focuses on like the mid range and blah blah blah. Sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. All right, let me get back to work.
You checking in with Rivale.
quick, sorry. I've really grown to like this plugin a lot, and it's very simple, but I love to learn it. Like, it's just been really cool to learn this plugin. Love it. Hold up. I'm gonna be right back. Dude, I love mid-side. I love plugins that have mid-side processing. Excuse me. It just makes everything more simple in my head.
You checking in with Raleigh. 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 checking in with Raleigh. You checking in with Raleigh.
Alrighty. There you have it. Let me see if I can just sort of kind of hook. So yeah, I mean, not bad. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. This is not like a crazy automation. This is just simply balancing things out. Excuse me, I keep yawning. And yeah, I'm really digging that, like, the plugins that I choose serve a purpose. I don't. I know for me, like, coming into like what I think is now my new foundation of mixing is just like I get really stressed out unless I intentionally mean to when there's like 5 plugins on like one track. To me, I'm like, that's freaking me out a little bit. And I feel like over time my sessions look more like this. Like, they just look I don't know. Like I try to use less as possible, without messing it up. I know there's probably no such thing as a mix that required no plugins on it. Maybe. Ooh, excuse me again. But I'm really liking the fact that like my new workflow is like if I choose a plugin, I'm choosing it because I want this simple thing out of it. I could have like this, for example, gave me distortion, compression, and an EQ all at the same time. Like I guess I mean like but I've used this thing so much and that's what I'm saying like I don't think I've bought a new plugin in like almost like 6 months or something because I really wanted to dedicate myself to learning each plugin in and out and using all my plugins and just not ever buying another plugin again because I'm so used to the tools that I have. I know what to like I know how to manipulate each plugin like 5 different ways if I wanted to, you know. Like I just needed like a little bit more like hair out of like the snare and that gave it to me and then I can compress it like, you know what I mean? Like and that's a free plugin. Like you know what I mean? I was just so tired of like downloading plugins just because like I could or it just looked cool, you know. But like I said, I love mid side. To me, like how my brain works. My bad. I thought I heard something in the kitchen. And there's nobody but me in here. Anyways, freaky. Um, yeah, I love mid side. I love plugins that I'm like, okay, I can focus in on the mid and then I can focus on the side without going back and forth with like 2 plugins. Sometimes I do it, sometimes like it's needed. But I just like the simple fact that I can just click on it and it's like already there. And I don't know, for me mid side is like the best thing ever created because it's like I get more clarity because once you start panning the way my mind works is once you start panning you're putting things in the left and right or you're putting it in the middle or you're putting it left or right, so it's not mid, it's side. So I feel like some people when they talk about like muddy mixes I'm like, okay, well did you like EQ some of the sides out, you know what I mean? Like because it's a field between the left side and the right side of your speakers and you need that clarity, you know what I mean? And sometimes that's where it is, it's in the side and you know signals are in the side and you don't even know about it, you know. Yeah, I'll never forget the day where I figured out about like mid side and what it was actually doing and I was like, this is crazy. So and then obviously I didn't really use a limiter, but I treat the loudness as my limiter. I'm not a limiter kind of guy. Like I don't look at a limiter and I'm like, ooh yeah, I need that limiter. I'm just more like I'm an EQ kind of guy. I'm more of a let's take out these frequencies so I can hear everything kind of guy. And after I'll say this, I'll stop trying to preach or whatever. But sometimes you just gotta know what kind of like mixer you are. Like, it took me a long time to figure out that I love EQs more than I love a compressor. And there's some people that's vice versa. They're like, I can manipulate a compressor to do crazy things, and I hate an EQ. There's some people that are like, I don't use a compressor, limiting is whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Ooh, excuse me, he yawning. And for me, it was EQ because once I found out what I wanted out of my mixes and the way I mix, I was like, EQ is literally the best thing ever created. Because if you don't have EQ, in my opinion, you won't be able to hear everything clearly. It just won't work. Like, things will mash up against each other and blah, blah, blah. I would reach for an EQ before anything. And to be honest, I really want to get into like a deep dive of mastering, because mastering is just a bunch of EQs, you know what I mean? And I would love that, but I don't get work like that. So I don't get a lot of mastering work. But I do love it. I use it. That's the only tool I'll use from the production for making a beat till the end of mastering is an EQ. Like, and I'll do fine by it. And then again, just remembering, I was just like, I want to like, and saturation. Like, some people swear by saturation. Nothing wrong with that. But I know for me at least, I was just like, I just need a little bit more. Like, it just needs to be warm, but like not too crazy. And I thought of this plugin. You know what I mean? Like, half of my plugins that I have are like free. I didn't pay a dime, you know. I'm not saying like don't just, you know, go get free plugins, but I'm just saying like I'm learning my tools, and I'm realizing like half this list that I have I got for free. Like, these are free. I didn't pay for them, and I'm just learning how to use them. But I feel like I'm at a time in my like career where I'm like, I don't need a new plugin right now. Like, I have everything I need. But therefore, I'm gonna craft my skills with all these plugins and be better and do better. So, all right, enough preaching. Let's do these.
You checking in with Rivale.
like other than like just the low end being like sort of kind of ridiculously loud. I mean, it sounds like I could have just put like a limiter on it and called it a day, but it's very subtle. Like I feel like, at least for me, like mixes shouldn't be like. I mean, they should be noticeably like better, but it shouldn't be like anything like crazy. You should be like, oh yeah, like I can hear more of that like second, like the second snare a little bit more. It's a little bit more clear. Like I pushed the hi hats back. I didn't like. They're not the main drive. Like like the hi hat one, in my opinion, when I made the beat was just so like you can keep the energy going, not like it's like the prime like character in this beat. The prime character in this beat, in my opinion, is the 808. That's why it's like so loud, and then followed by the loop. You know, like because I really don't want you to notice the hats. That's why I have them tucked in like that, and then I want you to notice this just because of the contrast with the second snare. You know what I mean? That's where my brain was thinking. I was just like, you know. So, and then I wanted you to just sort of kind of hear it, but like again, it's not the main character. Like, so he needs to be sort of kind of like tucked in, but not like really. So, yeah, this was fun. I feel like this was like a very good intro to. I'll show my face again. This was a very good intro to these little new segments. Oh, my goodness gracious. Okay. But yeah. So episode 1 is down, and episode 2 is me mastering. I think what I'm gonna do for that is, well, when I master, I'm gonna use my analog hardware stuff. That might be again another episode for another day. But yeah. So first and foremost, thank you to Jarrell. He's the CEO of Miscellaneous Muzik, for allowing me to make content, and just sort of kind of put out stuff. Just me rambling and talking about this. And then thank you for anybody who watches this. I hope that you learned something new. Hopefully I didn't say anything that was too terrible. I'm just sharing my opinions and my thoughts, and then again, hopefully over time I don't talk too much. But just depending on the content and things like that. And yeah, I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun, and it was good going back to the basics of just pan level, and then just making simple moves. Like making it's simple move. It's a simple movement, And yeah. So I will catch y'all on the second episode of Snowday of Sing Sound again. My name is J Rivale, and I had a lot of fun. Hope you did, watching me do all this. And yeah. So, well, again, if you are an artist, or if you know of an artist that's sort of kind of new to just the game or rapping in general, and or you're yourself, or trying to elevate what's next, and just going from like the hobby to like a small career, let me know. Shoot me an email. Shoot the team an email. I'll put it in the description, the email or my email or whatever. We'll get you in contact with somebody. And yeah, just trying to help others like I was helped, and the team is ready to help. So, if that interests you, just let us know. Let me know. and we'll get you in contact. So, all right. Well, until episode 2, this was again. I had a lot of fun just sitting down and listening and just tweaking things a little bit. So, I will see y'all next time. This is Sing Sounds, hosted by me, your boy J Rivale. Peace.